Hey guys, what's going on? This is Flag coming at you today with another episode of Frag Pro Shooter. Today, for the last time in 2020, we're gonna get the first look at the newest card, the Italian Chef, the second epic from Arena 10, Marco Polo. This time this video is gonna be a little bit different. Today, I'm only allowed to show you guys Marco Polo's stats and a couple of other images. OBB will allow us to release content of his gameplay in a couple of days. In addition to Marco Polo, I'm gonna talk about 4 balance changes that we get with this update, which includes 2 buffs and 2 well-deserved nerfs. Now let's talk about Marco Polo. If you're watching this video, chances are you have probably watched this video on my channel and you probably remember how I said Marco Polo is an Italian chef and epic character. But I actually predicted a lot of stuff about him that turned out to be right, which I'll shortly mention. Let's start with his name. Marco Polo's name and character takes inspiration from the famous explorer Marco Polo. Take notice how Marco Polo's name is written with 2 L's instead of 1 in Polo. The word pollo in Spanish and pollo in Italian means chicken in English, and that hints at how he's a chef, a non-vegetarian one of course. Here's his lore or backstory in case you want to read it. We already know he's an epic character, but something that we didn't know but I predicted in that video is that he's a defense card. Now let's focus on his general stats to evaluate him. These are his stats at level 6. To give you a better understanding of these numbers, I have calculated Marco Polo's stats at level 9, which is the events and duels level standard, which I like to call ELS. Starting with Marco Polo's HP, he has 343 hit points. This means that a level 9 Marco has the same HP as a level 11 Queen Unicorn and Baron Vudum, which is remarkable. With this amount of HP, Marco Polo has slightly more HP than Avalanche, General Mick, and Archon, and has comparable but less HP than Ronin, Scout and Nutty, Blot, and Prisoner. Now talking about his DPS, his minimum DPS is 19, which is close to Shinobi's 16. And his max DPS is very close to those of Lucha Muerta, The Boss, and even Ollie and Dr. Crow, which is 108. His regular speed, that is when he is not shooting, is 11.6 km per hour, which is the same for The Boss, Queen Unicorn, McAllen, Sogeki-chan, Sombrero, and Prisoner 99. His speed while shooting is 5.8 km per hour, which is the same for again The Boss, Queen Unicorn, McAllen, Sogeki-chan, Sombrero, and this time Blot. His respawn delay is of course 22 seconds like other non-legendary characters. Before moving on to his main weapon, I want to take a second to appreciate this artwork by Bianca, who did a fantastic job of drawing Marco Polo before anyone had seen him. Make sure to check out her socials and give her a follow from the links in the description below. Marco Polo's main weapon is called the Meat Blaster, which shoots groups of meatballs. His weapon's ammo is 8, which is the same as Katarina's and Wolfson's, and just 1 off Queen Unicorn, and more than BB, Blot, and The Boss who have 6 ammo, and even more than Dr. Frost, Giga Goo, and Prisoner 99's ammo who have 5 ammo. He has a relatively slow reload time with 2.2 seconds. That puts him in the same place as The Boss, above Blood who has a 2.4 seconds reload time, 0.4 seconds above Big Paku and Katarina, but it slightly takes longer than Scout and Nutty and Prisoner 99's 2.1 second reload time, BB and Queen Boom's 2 seconds, and Queen Unicorn's 1.5 seconds. He has a relatively good fire rate at 100, which is the same as Crystal's. To understand that better, you can compare it to Katarina's 113.4 fire rate, Blood's 95, Prisoner 99, Duncan and Andromeda's 90, and BB's 75. According to the stats, with his shot, his gun shoots 5 projectiles. But if you actually read the description of the gun, you'll notice that it says it shoots 4 meatballs. This is a typo and 5 projectiles is correct. The 5 projectiles is the same for Blood, puts him above Prisoner 99 and Katarina who have 4 projectiles per shot, and puts him below Frankenstein with 6 projectiles, and also Jekyll Padre, Dr. Frost and Buck who have 8 projectiles per shot. By now you can probably tell that Marco Polo's weapon functions like a shotgun, and that's why his weapon range is only 25 meters, which is the same for Prisoner 99, Blood, Katarina, Scout and Nutty, Queen Unicorn, and The Boss, and is more than Jab's 20 meters and less than Medusa's 30 meter weapon range. The reason why I keep putting stress on the word weapon is that you have to understand that this is not the same as the bullet range. Just like the other cards that I mentioned, namely Scout and Nutty and The Boss, Marco Polo's bullets actually travel more than just 25 meters, which means you can manually shoot the weapon and have your bullets deal damage to a target that is further away than 25 meters. His bullets have a radius of 2.25 meters, which makes it easy for his bullets to connect to the target. For example, the Boss and Scatter Nutty's bullets have a 1.5 meter radius, Jet, Hades 5.1, and Laika have 2 meter bullet radius, Rolaf has a 2.5 meter radius, BB and Queen Boom, whose shots connect quite easily to the targets, have a 2.75 meter bullet radius, and Dr. Crow, Big Paku, and Andromeda, who have very big bullets, have a 3 meter radius on them. At ELS, his weapon's base damage is 17.1, which is exactly the same as Hakuryo's weapon, and not that far off Fragment's 19.3. His special ability, or as I like to call Super's description, says throw a ball of spaghetti that deals damage on impact, then rolls on the ground, pushing, briefly stunning, and damaging your enemies. As I said, I'm not allowed to show you any gameplay, but I can show you this image of Marco Pollo, which happens to show some balls of spaghetti in the background. Now, I'm not gonna deny or confirm whether this is exactly what his super looks like, but that's up to you to figure out. Moving on to his stats, his ability cooldown is 13 seconds. To give you a better perspective of how long it takes his special ability to reload, the Boss, Cypher, and Hakuryo have a 14-second ability cooldown, and BB has a 16-second cooldown. On the other hand, Sombrero, Duncan, and Rip and Finn have a 12-second ability cooldown, and Queen Unicorn has a 10-second cooldown. So you can already tell that it doesn't take him that long to get his special ability running, but at the same time, you're not going to be able to spam it like Prisoner's 5-second ability cooldown allows you to. This meatball's base damage is 107 at ELS, which is exactly the same as Prisoner 99, Slimer, and Nautica's special ability damage, and is sandwiched between Volcano and Fragment's super damage of 128.6 and Andromeda's 85.7 damage. His meatball also deals a stun effect that lasts 1 second. If you look to the right, you see that there is also a half a second stun duration on the right. I'm not 100% sure whether this meatball has 2 separate stun effects, but I believe that the 1 second is correct. The 1 second stun effect is the same as Hannibal and Crystal Super, half a second more than Rip and Finn's special ability stun, and 1 second less than Duncan's. Duncan is really powerful right now. The meatball also deals damage over time, which at ELS is 102, which is the same as a level 12 Virus's super, or comparable to Prisoner's 107 point saw damage and McAlladin's 118 damage over time in his super. But again, in practice, this damage stacks up and deals a lot of damage. The push effect on Marco Pollo's special ability Meatball has a force of 11. If you want to understand how much force that is, Quarterback's regular shots have a force of 10, BB and Rip and Finn's regular attack have a force of 8, Rip and Finn's special ability has a force of 12, and Prisoner 99's attacks has a force of 15. But in reality, in the game, this push effect is a lot more stronger in practice. Just like Prisoner 99 saw, Marco Pollo is only allowed to have one meatball rolling around the arena. That's it for Marco Pollo's stats. Before moving on, this season ends on December 31st, and so the new season starts on the same day. The first round of play with Marco Pollo is gonna start on January 1st, and it's gonna be on for 3 days until January 3rd. The second round is coming on January 15th and ends on the 17th. But we're also getting some balance changes. Let's start with the buffs. Gloria militar, alle gloria militar.